Do we sin when we don't obey all of God's laws given to Moses? In 1 John chapter 3 verse 4, we read that whoever commits sin also commits lawlessness, and sin is lawlessness. Later on, in verse 6, John writes, "Whoever abides in Christ does not sin, and whoever sins has not seen him or known him." Does this mean that if we do not follow the laws given to Moses, we have not seen or known Christ? It depends on whether John was referring to the law of Moses when he spoke about lawlessness. In the Old Testament, we know that different laws were given to different groups. For example, the laws given to the priests were distinct from those given to the Levites. The laws for the Levites were different from those of the rest of Israel. And there were specific laws for women, men, the circumcised, the uncircumcised, and even foreigners living among the Israelites. Additionally, in Romans chapter 8 verse 2, Paul writes that the law of the Spirit of life in Christ Jesus has made me free from the law of sin and death, indicating that sin and death are also considered laws. So to understand what John meant by lawlessness, we need to look at what he specifically wrote about it. In 1 John chapter 3 verse 23 to 24, John clarifies that God's commandments is that we should believe in the name of the Son, Jesus Christ, and love one another as he gave us commandment. Those who keep these commandments abide in Christ, and he in them. This is how we know he abides in us, by the Spirit he has given us. Jesus speaks similarly in John chapter 15 verse 10, where he says, "If you keep my commandment, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandment and abide in his love." In verse 12, he explains that his commandment is that you love one another as I have loved you. There is therefore nothing in John's letters to suggest that lawlessness refers to not following the law of Moses given to Israel. Like and subscribe for more 2-minute biblical rebuttals.